The line between light and dark is so very thin. But do you know which side you're on? These were the last words of Uldren Sov. Welcome, Guardians. This theory today will be talking about what it means to be a Shadow of Yore, or better known as a Dredgen. Grab a snack and a cold drink. We might be here for a little bit. Alright, if you haven't read the lore books from the Last Word Quest, i.e. the Book of Unmaking and the Letters from a Renegade Hunter, I definitely recommend reading them. If you have not read them and do not intend to read them, then proceed with caution. Emperor Callus has spoken, and you have been given a spoiler warning. Alright, let's begin. So we know that Shin Malphur is actually Dredgen Vale, as it was confirmed in a in a letter from a Renegade Hunter, i.e. Shin Malphur himself. Now, if I remember correctly, Dredgen Vale is one of the key founders, or at least he is a member, of the Shadows of Yore, which is a group of once quote-unquote thought to be former light bearers who supposedly no longer side with the light and follow different ideologies of the man named Dredgen Yor, who was killed by Shin Malphur. Dredgen Yor, for those who do not know, was a man who caused immense fear among civilizations through his gun, Thorn, Weapon of Sorrow. Dredgen Yor was originally Retzilazir before being corrupted by the darkness. Not only was he corrupt, but so was his gun, Rose, which was turned into the Thorn. It was a weapon of sorrow. So we know Shin Malphur has been hunting the Shadows of Yore. He killed Callum, after all. He's got blood in his hands, but whether it's innocent or not is entirely up to the perspective of the reader. Some deaths, like Callum's, may have been staged, which I will explain in a bit, and other deaths caused by Shin Malphur were not staged. They were not involved in some greater plan or trap. Anyways, it seemed that Shin was at first just a huge enforcer of the light, like a cop who takes his job way too seriously and arrests you or gives you a ticket for going one over the speed limit. Everyone thought Shin was an absolute fanatic and killed all who wandered away or wavered on the edge of the light. But with this new information about him being a Dredgen, we know that there was another motive behind killing Callum. Callum was killed as bait for those who followed Callum's radical ideology of yore. Callum let himself be bait so that Shin could kill the corrupted Shadows of Yore, who were previously thought to be darkness-corrupted guardians. Are the Shadows of Yore guardians who can walk between light and dark in an equilibrium-like state? Of course, we know that the definition of the Shadows of Yore is different for every guardian, just as the idea of Dredgen Yor and other infamous characters, like Osiris and Toland, is different for every Dredgen, or Chronicler, or Scholar. Again, some see the Shadows of Yore as guardians who have turned their back on the light in search for a greater power, whether it be in the darkness for some, as it was originally thought to be the Shadows of Yore, or those who are in search for means of a greater power, i.e. the Drifter after his resurrection, and others, even though they are not risen, like Callus. Perhaps we will follow that path of looking for something greater than our feeble light, as Callus quoted in the next season of Opulence. But that's for another video. My depiction of the Shadows of Yore is this. Dredgens can walk the thin line between light and dark, without a loss of sanity or a thirst for power. They do not cause a sudden shift in either one direction. If they go to the light and are on more of a light biased side, then they are fine. But if they lean over to the side of the dark and wander away from the light, then the man with the golden gun will show up and kill you. People see Dredgens as corrupt guardians who no longer wish to wield the light. So, in a way, there's a thing such as corrupt guardians that are beyond corruption, even to the shadows of yore. Think of them as the radicals of yore. And yes, I coined that name myself. These radicals of yore yield the darkness, and no longer can walk the line between light and dark safely. They have edged too far over the cliff. They have waded too far in the penumbral depths of the darkness. These shadows have become penumbral. They have become too dark. And that's when Shin Malphur shows up. He wields the light in the form of his golden gun, and he does it for good intentions. But he's still killing light bearers. Does Shin kill those who are too corrupt and threaten the image of all Dredgens? Is he killing those who follow a radical image of Dredgen Yor? Or is he killing them because he has a greater plan that we just don't yet know? Well, Shin Malphur has resigned now. We have the last word. He gifted it to us. It's our fate now. What we do with the last word. We can hunt the Dredgens, which would mean ultimately killing Drifter and his crew. Or we could follow in Shin Malphur's footsteps and continue our path down Sorrow's Road. But we are not going to venture off of Sorrow's Road. We will remain on the path. We will waver the dark and the light. So that's it, really. It's kind of crazy to think about. We always thought Dredgens or the Shadows of Yore were just guardians who yielded to the darkness, but now we know that that's not true. Dredgens are people, guardians, who wield the light and the darkness, and still have good intent. All right, so a couple questions I have, and I'm going to end the video. Does the Drifter know Shin Malphur / the man with the golden gun's Dredgen identity? Was Shin watching Guardians and Gambit so he could snuff out shadows who have become too dark? Are Shin and the Drifter working together in some greater plan, while that so-called greater plan is involved in the greatest plan of the 9, who have the Drifter wrapped around their finger, pretty much? And what is a Shadow of Yore to you guys? Besides a guardian who follows in the ways of Dredgen Yor. And the biggest question of all, is this video done yet? If I hit the 10-minute mark so I can get that ad revenue? No, it's because we're not getting any ad revenue. Just kidding. Well, we're not, but anyways, that's it for me. If there are any questions or loopholes in my theory, please comment below. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for the support. I really hope you guys liked this video. If not, leave some constructive criticism down in the comments. I'll see you guys next time. Can't thank you guys enough. Peace.